with Spotify Rap coming out and showing me that I'm 58 years old because goddamn freaking foot me in the grave for that one. 58. I listen to music and I'm 58 years old. That's because so the music that I listen to, that means I'm 58 years old. Do I look like a 58-year-old? No, I look like a freaking 14-year-old. People say I'm young looking, and I think that's a compliment. However, with Spotify Rap just showing up and basically taking over the internet, I think it's a good idea like to bring this up because I thought this was a perfect time to bring up this band that I found near the beginning of the year, and it literally became from a band that I just found out and just learned about to now being probably one of my favorite bands of literally all time as of now. There's probably it's gonna be a band out there that I find that's like freaking more better than this, and I'm none other than talking about the title of this video, which is going to be Dream Theater. Dream Theater is a band that I found near the beginning of the year, and I found it because of Octavalium. Now, I went through a video on YouTube, something about like like songs. It was like a song thing, and they listed that Octavalium was like one of the like longest songs, longest songs out there. And I'm like, wow, that's a very long song. 24 minutes for a song is insane. So I listened to the song, just out of pure curiosity, so this is my first impression of Dream Theater. Never heard the band. I never heard of any of the band members except for John Petrucci. I heard John Petrucci. John. His name is very hard to say. John Petrucci. However you say his name. I'm sorry, man. I'm not disrespecting you. John Petrucci. Petrucci. Please, if you're watching this, I apologize that I'm butchering your name. However you. But I know, I heard about you. I didn't know that you were actually in Dream Theater. I just heard of the name, and that you were associated with guitar shredding, and you shred guitar like a freaking guy. I like you, guy. I like you, man. But yeah, I heard of Octavalium, and that's kind of like one of the songs that really got me into Dream Theater. Because when I finished the song, I was like, holy crap! I feel like I just ascended into heaven. 8 times. Octavalium 8 times. But yeah. And then after that point, I'm like, wow, this band, and I was just getting at metal. Like, this was like my Dragon Force, like, power metal phase, right? And I still listen to power metal. And Dragon Force, I listen to Dragon Force a lot. It's like one of my favorite bands out there, too. But Dream Theater is probably a little bit above them. But, and then after that, it just fell off. So I listened to all the songs, and like my albums now. Like, if I can rate the albums, it might be a hot take. My favorite album of Dream Theater is Metropolis Part 2, Scene of Memory. That's probably my favorite Dream Theater album of all time. Probably the second one would be probably everybody's favorite, which is Train of Thought. And then the third one is probably Six, was it Six? I forgot the name of the album, holy crap. Wow, I forgot it's like Six, uh, wow, I forgot the name of the album. Holy crap! Why? Again, I'm not good. Okay, my fault. It's 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. I don't know, like a big brain fart just happened. But yeah, those are like my top 3 favorite Dream Theater songs. I mean, albums out there. I got some names here. Probably the most like my honorable mentions will probably be Octavarium, Images and Words, and um, Systematic Chaos. And believe it or not, the Astonishing too. I actually like as much as the Astonishing is hated in the freaking Dream Theater fandom. I actually kind of do like the Astonishing. It's not really like like my favorite one, but it's not as bad as people say. I mean, I know like why people hate the Astonishing. It doesn't feel like Dream Theater at all. But I kind of liked it. It was actually a pretty good album. Little hot take right there. But yeah, those are probably some of my favorite albums in there. My favorite Dream Theater song, that's all of them. Literally, almost every single one. But if I was to like pinpoint probably like some notable Dream Theater songs, Octavalium would be one of them. Scene 7 of Metropolis Part 2, which is The Dance of Eternity, that's another good one. Independence of Enemies Part 2 is another good one. And Endless Sacrifice. Honestly, any song in Train of Thought, any song in Metropolis Part 2, except for Finally Free. Finally Free was kind of weird. Even though it's part of the album, and obviously every song in Metropolis Part 2, I like it a lot. You know, and then probably like Glass Prison, The Great Debate. Like there's a lot of GT songs that I like. I can't really pinpoint like my favorite ones out of all time, but like Home is another good one of Metropolis, Dance of Eternity, The Spirit Carries On. Octavalium, um, Sacrifice Sons was another good one. Um, what's another one? The Gift of Music. I believe it or not, I do like The Gift of Music. The Gift of Music was actually a pretty good banger. The Count of Tuscany. There's a lot of good songs in there. Oh, and It was in the Dramatic Turn of Events album, which I'm pulling up right now. It's not on the back of Angels. It's Lost Not Forgotten. You know, so those are like some of my notable like songs from Dream Theater. Again, it's just the ones that stood out to me. It's not like those are my definitely favorite ones. Again, most of the songs by them are amazing. I'm not trying to meet right them, but you know, I do just want to like bring this up. You know, Dream Theater is actually really good. Prog, like Dream Theater really got me more into like prog metal. Like this is like a big gateway from like like hard rock and power metal like Dragon Force. Dragon Force, Twilight Force, Glory Hammer. If you guys know Glory Hammer, give me a freaking high five if you know who they are. Power Wolf. What's the other one? Brothers of Metal. Those are like some of the good like notable like power metal bands that I listened to. But then when Dream Theater came up, I was like, hold on, prog metal? Prog metal is probably good. So like another like one that I do is like Dream Theater is my biggest prog metal, and then I got into Tool. Tool is really good too. And then from here, I actually really got more into like Slayer and all that. So like thrash metal. I really do like Slayer. Slayer is probably like one of my favorite thrash metal bands out there because they make freaking amazing songs. Like Angel of Death is a freaking masterpiece. Raining Blood is a freaking masterpiece. And there's like so many other masterpieces. I mean, like Dead Skin Mask, another masterpiece. So like Slayer is another like big band that I liked. That I recently listened to. It's not just Dream Theater, but Dream Theater is probably like one of my biggest bands that I got into listening. And ever since that day of January, or like somewhere like January, February, it just continues on. I just listen to it on and on. And GT has became my top band for Spotify of 2025. And there were probably like 3 of the albums was actually in my top albums, which is the ones that I said at the beginning, which is Scenes of Memories Part 2, Metropolis Part 2, Scenes of Memories, 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, and Train of Thought. Those are probably my top 3 albums of Dream Theater, as I said in the beginning, And like most of my songs are freaking just Dream Theater. And believe it or not, my top song is actually Dream Theater Slipknot, which is kind of interesting. I didn't expect Nello Forte to freaking be my top song of 2025. I was actually thinking it was going to be like a Dragon Force song because again, I still love Dragon Force. I still love my power metal songs. I still love hard rock songs. I still love my 80s songs. Like I have a lot of big music tastes. Like I'm not really like a big rapper guy. I never like really liked rap. I think I made a whole video talking about like I just don't listen to rap. I just listen to more like old songs or like 80s songs. Like the 80s era the 80s era of music is probably like one of my favorite eras of music, of all time. And I listen to like rock, metal of course. I'm also trying to get into death metal, but it's kind of I'm like slaying back and forth. Maybe like the biggest like death metal band that I've been listening to is Cattle Decapitation, if you guys heard of that. But I feel like Slayer is probably like the one that I'm just gonna stop at. Like Slayer is probably like the most like hard, like closest to death metal like band that I'm going to get to like actually. And so there's that in the metal area. Pop songs. I mean, if they're on the radio, I'll probably listen to it. But I got my rock station on my college radio. What's some other ones? I mean, I'm not really a big rap guy unless it's hip hop from like the 90s. Like those were probably like some bops out there. Like shout out One DMC, like they were freaking cool. And that starting day with Aerosmith was amazing too. But yeah, like again, I have a pretty like huge music taste. I do like a little bit of country. Ever so often. I like jazz. Jazz is cool. I love classical music too. Like believe it or not, I actually do like piano music. So like you got me with like Fiori's freaking like La Campanella. We got freaking Moonlight Sonata. Like I'm a big Beethoven guy. I love all Beethoven songs, especially Movement 3, which is peak piano, right there. Fight of the Bumblebee. What's that? Like Piano's Rhapsody. Like it's there's a lot of like piano songs. Again, I don't really know the names of them because they're just like numbers and letters. But like if I was to play, if you were to play a song like a piano song for me, I'll probably like, oh yeah, I know that song is, and I can probably say, oh, that's from Chopin, or that's from Beethoven, or that's from Mozart, or that's from Liszt. I can say all that. But it's really good. But again, like the biggest Dream Theater song that like stood out to me was probably Dance of Eternity, and I think it's like probably like one of the most popular songs from them. If not, in its Octavian. But I don't know like what's the most popular song from Dream Theater. But Dance of Eternity is one that really just stood out to me. It's not my favorite one, it just stood out. because of, like how complicated, like how like like confusing or like it is to play. I think it's like one of the most confusing songs. Like if I also play Dance of Eternity, I like if I also go to a party, right, and someone said, "Hey guys, just out of curiosity, what's the most like complicated, like confusing, like gives you a headache song out there in a good way?" I'm not saying that's it's a good song. I like it. And if I also play Dance of Eternity, to that party, most likely they're gonna vote for me because of how freaking like I don't know how to say it. It's like very like complicated, like I don't know how to describe it. It's like really good. Like there's some points in this there's like some points in the melody where it goes to like guitar riffs, and then it's like just out of nowhere like a classical piano riff or like a jazz thing, and then it goes like to a high, hi hats, and there's like a lot of like things going on in that song. Well, I'm like, wow, it's a lot going on here, and it's really really good. They found a way to make a lot of complicated things into a good thing, a good thing. If I was to go more into if I was to go more into Metropolis Season of Memory, I would go more into it like a separate video because there's a lot to unpack here. There's like a whole book talking about like the story of that album, and the fact that that album connects to each song, kind of like The Wall from Pink Floyd. It's really like good. Oh yeah, Pink Floyd is another like prog rock song that I listen to. Pink Floyd, I got into Pink Floyd again. Shout out The Wall. But I feel like I'm getting off track here. So basically, this was just a video just saying like Dream Theater. On out of like the high chance you're probably watching this, like some of the band members like James Labrie or John Petrucci, Mike Portnoy, I forgot you guys' names. Holy crap! I'm so sorry, but those are like some of my favorite ones. But out of curiosity, if you guys are seeing this, thank you. You're a really really good band. You really are, and I'm so lucky that I found you this year and you made it to my rap. And I'll keep on listening to you guys until I get bored of. I know you guys are still making music. Like I know Pale Samia release, and hopefully you guys do make more albums. Really, really good. Don't be like System of a Down, not making like any call out stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about Dream Theater and just like Spotify rap and like just my music taste in general. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, thanks for watching.